Hello, greetings and salutations, and happy holidays. I'm doing a review of the Blue Yeti Blackout microphone. I recently bought the Yeticaster bundle on the Black Friday sale, and I wanted to do some testing of it along with the Blue Voice software and some of the settings that they have, or the presets. But before I did that, I thought I'd want to do a baseline, and right now I'm using the Plantronics headset that I bought a few years ago to use for work at home, but it's my personal set, and it's what I had used for a few years for my own microphone at home. And so this is a Plantronics CM-320. I'll just read some random sentence. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. So this is the Plantronics CM-320 as a baseline. Okay, Cheers. Now I'm trying out the ones I currently use from work, which I got from my current employer, the Jabra Biz 2402. I'm not sure what was up with that static in the last one with the Plantronics. I didn't get that a week or so ago. Maybe it's a good thing I got a new microphone, but I'm not sure exactly where that came from. But in any case, these are the ones I currently use. There shouldn't be any static because I haven't gotten any feedback, no pun intended, from coworkers about any static or anything like that. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. So this is the Jabra Biz 2400. I'm recording this with the Jabra Biz because I felt that the recording level was quite low, actually. I'm not sure what was causing that. I'm not sure. I don't have the controls on the microphone on the wire unit right now, so I don't know if I can do anything with that. But I've upped the gain a bit on the screen recording application. The Plantronics was at 55%, and the first Jabra recording was at 55%, and this one is at 75%. So we'll see if that makes any difference. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. So this is the Jabra Biz bumped up a little bit. See if it makes much of a difference. Okay, and finally we come to the Blue Yeti. Hopefully it's a noticeable difference, but I guess I'll see it I'll hear it when I listen a little bit later. I don't have a pop filter for it. It's about 6 inches away from my mouth and slightly offset. So as I'm looking at the screen, if I'm looking at 12 o'clock, it's about 1:30 or 2 o'clock, probably 45 degrees offset to my right. So I'm not speaking directly into it, but it's pointed directly at me. And I don't have any of the Blue Voice on yet, so I'll be reading some of this article here, and then in between sentences I'll just turn on the Blue Voice and then try some of the presets. So right now there are no answers to the biggest questions in baseball. When will Major League Baseball's lockout end, and what will the next collective bargaining agreement mean for your team? Cubs fans at least saw a flurry of activity before the industry shut down at the beginning of December. Turn on the Blue Voice software, and right now it is the custom preset. I guess I made a custom preset, but I'll go to Broadcaster 1. Try this. Actually, let me go to AM radio first. AM radio. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. Now we'll go to FM radio. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. Now let's go to Broadcaster 1. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. Try Classic Radio. Hello, this is Classic Radio. Yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart, gets me every time, depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. Go to crisp and warm. This is crisp and warm, yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. Now to warm and vintage. Warm and vintage, yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers. Even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. So when I was playing around with this before, I felt Broadcaster 1 I thought was probably the best out of the box. So that's what I'll stick with until I know enough to do some custom presets of my own. But while we're here, why don't we check out some effects? The effects are off. This is DJ Robot, yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop.
Electrobeat, yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop.
Helium Chipmunk, yet the Cubs still don't have an everyday shortstop, enough rotation depth, or any fully established relievers.
Sinister, even a generous assessment of the depth chart for the infield and outfield includes many question marks. So let's go off the effects now.
Okay, back to Blue Voice Broadcaster. So this has been a quick test of these, and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that there's a noticeable difference when I start playing them back, but you can let me know as well, and I'll be posting some more as I go along. So, questions from readers have been edited for length and clarity. Part 2 of the mailbag will run later this week. Cheers.